What is happening, guys and gals? Joe Badger here, your money mentor, where we have deep pockets and short arms, and where I help you with my nearly 40 years of experience with money, investing, and business. And boy, does that experience come into play for this one. I want to tell you how I saved over $100,000 and how I think you can too, regardless of what kind of income you have coming in. As long as you follow this process, I'm going to take you step by step with how I did it, what I used, and what it took over time to save $100,000. Now, at the end, we're going to be talking about things like the lessons that I learned through the process, because this is going to surprise you. You're going to learn a lot more about yourself than just financial related. So if you like this kind of material, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more coming and you do not want to miss out. And I really want you to comment so that I can engage with you and even help you along the process. So let's get into the details of how I saved $100,000 and how you can too, whether it's for an emergency fund or whatever. Let's go for it. It took me a total of 24 months to save $100,000. Now, it may take you a lot less than that, or it may take you more than that. But overall, keep in mind that it is very difficult. I found it very difficult, and it requires a lot of discipline, but definitely able to do it. And you don't have to make a lot of money. You don't have to be bringing in a ton of money every month in order to do it. Now, here is a big principle, however, and you're going to find this shocking, but saving means not spending. At least that was a big revelation for me. This whole thing is a giant exercise in not spending and self-control and discipline. So in the end, what this comes down to is what you have left over after all of your expenses. So in order to do that, we're going to have some kind of system to make that happen. So let's go into the actual process of saving the money and recording and keeping track of it and all the little details. The first part of the process involves using some sort of app on your phone. I used the iSave Money app, and this helped me tremendously, because you can record all of your expenses, all of your income, and then it gives you how much money you saved that month. The other thing I suggest you do is get a big piece of paper and make a chart on your wall somewhere in your home and label it the year and divide it into 12 months so that you can visually see the progress as it's happening every month. And you record in a big magic marker, you record the income that comes in, the expenses, and how much you save that month, because that's really going to motivate you and for you to check that chart every month and to see how you're progressing and where you're headed. The next step involved is to set your goals. So what is your very first goal? That is to save $100,000. And all good goals need to be measurable and they need to have a target date. So what I did was I said, I'm going to do it in 24 months. And so I divided 24 months into $100,000. That came out to be $4,167. And because I wanted to shoot a little higher, I set my goal for $4,500 every month. Just this process alone of setting goals is going to reduce your expenses dramatically. And it makes you laser focused toward that end reward. Another very important part of the process is to record all of your expenses and all of your income. And that is what the app is going to help you with. I also kept all of my receipts. Now this is a very tedious process, and if you're not used to it, it becomes very difficult, very annoying. But it's a good habit to get into on a regular basis anyway, if you really want to take control of your finances. So that crucial first step of the process is to set those goals and make sure you follow them along the entire process. The next important thing to consider is your accounting system. And the best way to do this is to keep it as simple as possible. So make sure that you record your net income and then all of your actual expenses for the month and subtract that from your income to get your savings. Another thing you don't want to do is record double expenses. For example, let's say you pay with a credit card and you purchase something. Well, that's the bottom line of that expense. And when you go to pay that credit card, this is not a second expense. You already initially spent that money with the initial purchase. So keep it simple and make sure your accounting is as simple as possible. And this is the best way to go about the process. As I said earlier, a big part of savings is not spending. And that's easier said than done, of course, because we are all humans and we all like to spend, and we don't like to be reined in on our spending. But there's going to be a big reward at the end, and this is only temporary, so keep that in mind. So a couple of big areas that I learned that you can really save your money is, number one, in dining out. Instead, eat at home and cook your own meals. That's a lot cheaper than dining out. Number two would be travel. Travel is totally a luxury, and you can spend a lot of money there, multiple thousands of dollars. So that's a good way to save your money, is to not travel when you possibly can. And then number three is entertainment, having fun. And I know this sounds like a big party pooper kind of statement. There are ways to entertain yourself and to enjoy recreation without spending a lot of money. Keep in mind that as you're going through this process of saving your money, you might have some difficult months. There may be some months when you save a ton of money and you save over your goal. But then there may be other months when you are negative and you don't even save as much as you need to save. So just keep in mind that keep going forward. You can do this, don't stop, and it can be done. Trust me. I had some months where I really questioned whether or not I was going to be able to do it, but in the end, it all worked out. So just keep in mind during the whole process that you are really going to need to control your spending in order to save a big sum of money. If you go through this process from start to end, I guarantee you that you're going to learn a lot more about yourself than you ever thought you would. First of all, financially, you're going to learn exactly where your money is going to and where it's coming from, and about your personal spending and saving habits. That's number one. But you're also going to learn things about yourself, such as, are you disciplined enough? Can you stick to something for more than just 2 or 5 or 12 months? Can you really finish what you started? And those types of lessons don't only apply to money, but they can apply to anything else in life. And you're also going to realize that maybe you are lazy in some areas, at least I was. And something like this is really going to motivate you. One of the biggest lessons that I happened to learn myself was that I don't necessarily need to buy everything I want to. And when I was going through this process, and it was tough for me, but after 24 months, I remember initially thinking, well, once I get there, I'm going to buy X, Y, and Z. And so I got there, and I had the $100,000. And after all that hard work, I realized, you know what? I don't want to spend it now. I don't want to spend it on all those things that I thought I needed or wanted or was going to reward myself with. But now that I was disciplined, and now that I completed a huge goal for myself, I'm going to actually raise the stakes. And I'm going to save more, and I'm going to do it again. But this time I'm smarter. And this time I'm going to do it quicker, faster, better, and I'm going to work harder. And I know that you too will probably learn something very valuable about yourself going through this process. So there you have it. I like to think that if I could do something, then you can too. You just have to go through the process. You have to have an accounting system, you have to set goals, you have to keep yourself from spending when you really want to, and you have to allow yourself enough time to actually do what you need to do. And if you get frustrated, just keep plugging along. Remind yourself that this tight budgeting is temporary, and you have a big goal at the end just waiting for you, a big reward of $100,000. So remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We have a lot more just like this coming, and you do not want to miss out. And I can't wait to tell you about it. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.